Welcome to Let's Talk. Here we will focus on the hustle, the juggle, and everyday struggle of small business. We will be here every week talking to small business owners about their everyday struggles, stresses, and ways they have been able to overcome the challenges of running their business. We welcome questions and comments, so please feel free to email us at admin@PlemonsCPA.com. We hope you enjoy, and above all, we hope it helps. Well, welcome. You have joined us on the Hustle, Juggle, and Struggle of Small Business by David B Plemons, CPA. I am your hostess for today, Thalia E. Williams. Today in the studio, we have Patty Shepard of A Healing Place. Welcome, Patty.
Thank you. Hello.
We're so glad to have you. So we want to know, tell us a little bit about yourself and the name of your business, obviously A Healing Place, and how long have you been in business?
I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I've been doing massage for about 29 years. And
you don't look a day of 20.
Thank you. I'm working on that. I've been with A Healing Place for about 5 years. I've been promoting myself here in San Antonio. I'm originally from Florida.
Ooh, Florida. That's a place I want to go.
Yeah, it's very hot right now. So I'm kind of glad to be here, even though it's hot here. It's a different kind of heat in Florida.
Got you. So you have been in business, this particular business, for 5 years, but you've been doing massage therapy for 29.
Yes.
Why this particular type of service?
Well, I hadn't done this professionally before I moved to Texas 6 years ago. And I worked from job to job, and I didn't do what I wanted to be doing. I felt like I was floundering, and massage was always in the back of my head, like, maybe we should consider this. And for reasons unknown to me, I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to pursue it. I know. And here I am. I changed my mind, and then I ended up going into the medical side of massage. So I think that's really what was a turning point for me, is I wanted to make a difference. So that's why I'm here and doing what I can to get that out, that massage can be beneficial medically.
Oh, that's nice, because most people think of massage, they go to a spa, they lay on a table, hot rocks are put down their back, they go oosa, goose blah, and fragrances and things like that. But they don't think about the medical aspect of it unless there's an injury.
Right.
And you don't have to have an injury to have massage.
No. Oh. So they don't think about the fact that, they were in a car accident. They don't think about the trauma in muscles. And I tend to bring that to their attention. When I'm working on people, I work in a spa on occasion, once a week, and I find that a lot of people there actually need the type of service that I provide. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I feel like I'm placed in these right places for a reason, and being able to express what I'm doing for a living. This is my job. This is my dream.
Thoroughly enjoy what you're doing. So what have been some of your challenges in running your business? I mean, you've been in business for at least 5 years, so I know there have been some hiccups, some good stuff, some bad stuff. So talk about a challenge. What have been some of your challenges?
Some of the challenges I faced, too much too soon. I had to learn to be more patient and getting more training under my belt, not just in the modalities that I do, but the business side of it. I didn't take that into consideration when I said, hey, I'm going to open up a business. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and all the hiccups involved, and just the day-to-day mundane activities that you have to do as a business owner. It's very time-consuming. It's stressful. I make a lot of mistakes in that regard, and I've been eating a lot of crow for not coming and getting professional help sooner. But I'm one of those that I can do this on my own. I did enough research. I know what I'm doing, and I was so clueless. And I'm taking back steps and actually appreciating now what the wisdom of other people have been trying to tell me. You need to just do it this way, and don't be so quick to jump into something when you're not totally 100% ready. That's where I've had to struggle with taking that step back when I just want to keep pushing forward.
Right.
And that's when I hit the brick wall, and I'm like, wait, why can't I go further with this? And I realize it's because I've made too many false steps in that direction. Yeah, I have the following, I'm getting my name out there, but where is it? How do people get a hold of me? How do people know about me? And so, that's part of the challenge of what I'm doing.
I got you. And that can be a challenge too, because moving too fast too soon can create a problem in the sense that you don't have the infrastructure to handle all of this wave and rush of all these people, this notoriety that you've gotten. And I know a little bit more about your background, so I'm going to delve into that a little bit. So tell me, how did you manage to take what you knew medically and utilize it to become someone awesome? Okay? And I'm flexing my biceps right now.
I love that. I didn't even, when I got into massage way back when, I never considered that it would be a medical thing for me, that I would be changing people's lives in a positive way. And I didn't think about merging the two together. It just kind of happened by accident. And the results of me being here, helping a friend of mine that had been seriously injured in Afghanistan. He was burned badly. And it kind of started things ticking in my head. And I realized, okay, maybe we can make a difference here. I reached out and I found people that actually taught the class for burn scar therapy. And then it just took off from there. I worked with physical therapists in Florida. I worked with PTAs here in Texas. And next thing I know, it's like these are a happy balance of the two. We can put these together and make a difference. And, people don't have to look at massage as like a foo-foo thing. They can look at, okay, I'm actually doing something productive with myself. I'm actually healing, and it's just more of an energy inside, starting with the inside of you and then working from the outside, and putting the two together, medical and massage, was something that I didn't imagine at first, but here I am now. Mm-hmm. And it's making such a profound impact on so many people, and I had no idea that it was going to be this big, this great, this fast.
And I'm looking at what you do, and we both have someone in common who loves your work. I don't want to go to anybody else in life ever again. She beats me up so good, and I feel so much better after that.
And I love that. I love her.
Of course.
She's amazing.
And the thing is, you persist. Why do you persist? I keep hearing because it helps, because you're making a difference.
It is. I think about the people that I have worked on that have shared stories. They shared their private stories with me, personal challenges that they faced. And into the session, I hear more and more. I'm relieving the stress that's on their bodies, the muscle pain, the trauma that their muscles have suffered. And they tell me at the end of the session that made such a profound difference. And then 2 days later, I'm getting a phone call, and they're crying and telling me, I didn't know that I could be this pain-free. This makes all the difference in the world to me, just to be able to make a difference like that. These people who have had limitations, maybe even incorrect diagnosis, and I'm not trying to get into all the medical doctors and them misdiagnosing people, but, I've heard a lot of arthritis, and some of it's not even arthritis. They haven't even been properly tested for stuff like that, and it's usually can be muscle pain. It could be something totally easy to manipulate and help. Mm-hmm. And that's where I just keep coming back to it, because I know I'm helping people, and I know I keep saying that, but it's
the core.
It is. It's really the root of why I keep doing. Then I keep pushing. And I keep feeling like I'm not making a difference at some point, and then something happens to just bring it right back up into perspective again. And I wish there were more that could see it the way I do, to see people the way that I do. And, they don't have to have your foo-foo, Swedish massage. And actually, that's very beneficial to your psyche. It's not just about that. It's, you physically can get in and work on a person without even having to use lotions or whatever. There's different ways to manipulate, to people comfortable at their comfort level. We can still make a difference.
Wow, that's good. So how critical is support to you?
Very.
Well, considering what you kind of told me earlier and what you mentioned to our audience earlier, yeah, okay.
I rely heavily on feedback. I mean, and if even good or bad, and I'm not saying it's always been roses. I've been critiqued, and properly so. I've been handed my behind to myself. So, but yes, the support system, it is my foundation. It's what keeps me going. It's people like the unmentionable individual that we were just discussing. She has been the greatest cheerleader, and I had no idea that I was going to have that kind of an impact. And that's what I need to hear. I need to hear that I'm doing good, and that I'm making a difference for them and on the right path. And it's people like her that I want to keep reaching out to and letting them know I'm here, and people like me. There's a few of us, but a healing place, that's our mantra is, we care about you. You mean everything to us, you're not just a person, you're not a number, you're part of our family.
That's good. And see, that support is not just on the personal side either, because your business can grow with support outside of that. Because when you talked about hitting those brick walls, I'm curious to know, how many did you hit?
On a daily?
Well, we didn't want to go that in depth, but sure, if you want to.
Well, it really is. It's because I limited my thinking. I did, and somebody very wise told me to think outside of the box and let's stretch the imagination a little bit and see what more we can expand on this. And next thing I know, at a time when I thought everything was going to fall apart and be completely gone, I found out I was building a mountain, and the ideas just kept coming and coming and coming, and I'm actually seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm seeing a big, huge light, and the fallbacks that I've had have only been stepping stones into the right direction, and that's the way I have to look at this. This is a positive. These bad things that have happened, these terrible, crazy things, have just done nothing but push me forward, and that's what I'm doing, just moving forward.
Well, that's good. Well, this is a good segue into, tell us about a failure you learned from. Just pick one, because I know all businesses have had more than one, but just pick one. Well,
okay. I thought that I did enough research on an office, my first one that I had, and it was a little bitty spot. And it was way, way more than I expected. The issues that little office brought, the demographics, the people surrounding me, it was very, very loud. It was not the peaceful atmosphere that I was actually looking for. It was so many things, there were so many brick walls within that brick wall, that I stuck it out for a year, and I vowed I would never do that again. So my next step, I think things through, I'm trying to work that out in my head. Like, okay, what are the goods? What are the bads of a situation if you're going to go forward with another office? So, and that's what I'm trying to do, is get into a private office again. Now I'm sharing space, and it's fine. Great people, but it taught me a lesson.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. And that is a challenge, because, when you don't know, what you don't know, you're thinking, oh, this is a great spot, the rent is reasonable, whatever, location. But if you don't investigate more about your neighbors and then what you really want to accomplish, that's going to be challenging. Hi, we have Chris Hall here from Pontum Financial talking about the Power 5. Could you brief us on that?
The Power 5 is a group of 5 specific professionals that every business owner should have in their toolbox. It kind of starts off with the financial planner, the CPA, the attorney, the insurance agent, and the banker. So all of those different people are going to serve a different function inside of a person's business or personal life. Most of the time, your business is going to overflow into your personal life either way. But those people operate much like a football team. Everybody's going to have a particular role, but you have to have them communicate with one another, which is usually where we see a lot of balls being dropped. Those people, if they're not sitting around a table advising you and one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing, it can cause a lot of headaches. So we always recommend those 5 people in particular: the CPA, the financial planner, the attorney, the insurance person, and the banker.
Well, if we want more information, how's the best way to reach you at Pontum Financial?
Feel free to reach out to our office. We're right off of 281 in Bitters. Call us at 210-625-4845, or you can follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn, and you can check out our website at pontumfinancial.com. That's PONTEM, financial.com.
Chris Hall is a partner with Pontum Financial and offers securities and investment products and services through Waddell & Reed, Inc., WRI, member FINRA/SIPC. Pontum Financial is a separate entity from WRI. So let's talk about a success you learned from. We talked about a failure and that brick wall. We only talked about the one, but let's talk about a success that you've learned from.
Well, I had a really cool situation. I had an agent that I worked with out of New York that reached out to me looking for somebody with some sports background. And that led to working with the WWE, the wrestlers. Yeah. So not only did I work on them one tour, I worked on them 2. I had to work on them earlier this year with the guys. And it was such an awesome, incredible experience. And I went into it completely scared to death and trying to get out of going and thinking of everything that needed to be done besides going and working on these big dudes. And once I got there, I realized they were just as nervous as me. And it kind of opened my eyes to a whole different perspective, and not necessarily working with the wrestlers, but just working with athletes in general, and the need that is there. And I always tend to educate. So even when I'm working on these guys, I'm treating them like Mama Patty, and just, advising them about their own bodies, the things that they didn't even know about. So it was a really cool experience, and I have leaped from that. I've used that as a stepping stone towards other things. And I worked with a number of celebrity groups, but this one, they were amazing. And it was so incredible that I got chosen to do that. So that was a huge blessing, and that was a huge positivity in my life.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And that almost kind of validated what you had been doing and learning with the medical and melding those two together, because you were able to actually really apply it in that scenario too, weren't you?
Yes, I was. It was a really, really wonderful time. I just adore the guys. They are total gentlemen, and people would ask me a lot of questions about that. I would bring it up, that I worked with them, not because of any other reason other than the fact that they surprised me, and they were so eager to learn and to be having somebody work on them that had a little bit of a background, but I would use them as examples of, how to work with your muscles when you're an athlete, you're doing bodybuilding or weightlifting or whatever, to take care of yourself, even when you do get body work, not just to go and run out and, get back into working out again. And I use them as an example, like even with all their people that they have on staff, so many of them just weren't aware of that. So it just kind of helped me to educate people. And I do it all the time. You're
an educator. because you care so much.
I do.
And if you didn't care, you wouldn't want to educate. You just want to do the work, take their money, thank you for the tip, move on. Next, But that's not your heart. That's why you have a place called a healing place. Okay?
Yes.
So what does success look like to you, Patty? What does success really look like to you?
Actually, I'm grateful for the everyday successes that I have with every person that I work with that I've been able to help. My long-term success will be to actually have a center geared for that, with all holistic modalities, that people can come together in one place and get chiropractic care or acupuncture or massage, any kind of thing that they may need to look into rather than going to chemicals. I work on so many people that are chemical dependent, and it breaks my heart. It really does, because sometimes it's not even necessary. Sometimes, yes, it is, but a lot of times if they just took care of themselves holistically, getting massages and the chiropractic work and whatever, then that could be avoided.
Okay, I like that. I like that because success means something different to everybody.
Yeah.
And success sounds like you want people to recognize and become more in tune with their bodies so that they can live a fulfilled life.
Yes, absolutely.
Fulfilled life. So if you had to do it all over again, what would you do differently, if anything? And I'm chuckling because we've kind of had this conversation before. But, our audience needs to hear, if you had to do all over again, what would you do differently, if anything?
Okay, so there was a time when I would have said I would have changed this and I would have changed that. But in truth, everything that I've gone through in my life, every step, everything that got me to this point, and those were really important building blocks to get here. So I can't say that, and I say that so reluctantly, but I can't say that I would really change anything, except to maybe plan a little better. And that's funny for me to say that because I am such a planner. I plan everything out. I'm very practical. That's my nickname. But that is something that I think is really important, that I've gone through everything I have so that I could have the strength to do what I'm doing now.
I like that. So any advice for our audience? I mean, coming from the industry that you're in, just overall, I mean, the industry that you're in is fitness, health, but is there any advice for our audience for those that may be looking to go into this particular industry or thought about it, or just some general advice?
For those, for people that actually want to get into massage, this is a competitive industry. It doesn't have to be, but it's made to be that way. With that mindset, go in with a team mentality, like we're all in this together. We can work together. We don't have to be competing against each other. There's a very strong misconception that that's necessary, and it's not. Educate yourself. Take as many CE classes, even if it's not required. Expand your horizons. That's what I would say. And those people that don't get massages, they feel like it's not something it's worth getting into, or maybe it's too foo-foo, as we keep saying as a joking manner. It's really not. It's actually very beneficial in so many ways, and not just your body, but your spirit too. You need to have that contact. You need to have that release, and massage is one of the best ways to do that.
Got you. Wow, that's good news. So how can we get a hold of you, Patty Shepard?
I actually have a website. Yes, somebody very smart gave me this great idea. So you can reach me at healingplacetx.com.
Phone number, email, anything?
Phone number 210-801-9060.
Excellent. Well, Patty Shepard of A Healing Place, we are so glad that you stopped by to hang out with us for a little bit. Love your story. Looking forward to seeing great and mighty things happen with you in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you very much.
For more information about any of our guests, or if you have questions and comments, please email us at admin@PlemonsCPA.com. And don't forget to check out our website, PlemonsCPA.com, for upcoming events and workshops in San Antonio.
David B Plemons CPA Inc. is providing this podcast as a public service, but it is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of David B Plemons CPA Inc. policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by David B Plemons CPA Inc. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the Hustle, Juggle, and Struggle of Small Business podcast does not imply an endorsement of them or their concepts or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed by David B Plemons CPA Inc. employees are those of the employees and do not necessarily reflect the views of David B Plemons CPA Inc. or any of its officials. You should always consult your own investment advisors, attorneys, and accountants before making any decisions concerning your financial matters. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact our office. Chris Hall is a partner with Pontum Financial and offers securities and investment products and services through Waddell & Reed Incorporated, WRI, member FINRA/SIPC. Pontum Financial is a separate entity from WRI. Waddell & Reed is not affiliated with David C. Plemons CPA. Waddell & Reed financial advisors are able to offer insurance products through arrangements Waddell & Reed has made with outside insurance companies. The information presented on this podcast is solely for informational purposes and is not to be construed as an offer to sell or the solicitation of an offer to buy any financial product or service mentioned. Any opinions expressed are those of Chris Hall and are subject to change based on market and other conditions. For more detailed information regarding any of the topics discussed on today's podcast, please call 210-625-4845 or visit pontumfinancial.com. Waddell & Reed does not offer tax or legal advice. Please consult with a professional prior to making any financial decisions.